Well, it was a clash of styles. However, Undertaker really wanted to work with RVD and thought that clash of styles, the different type styles, would complement each other. In my opinion, it did, because Taker being a brawler, you don't expect that kind of style, and to be able to get Undertaker off of his game, Rob with all of his flips and flies and all the bullshit that RVD does, was another way to attack the Undertaker that had never been done before. I remember Paul was just so dead set against the Undertaker RVD match because he thought Taker would eat RVD up, and it was to the contrary. I thought that Taker really complimented Rob, and they had a hell of a match.
Allegedly, on some episode, or maybe just in private, I forget, but you told me that this is the match where Vince McMahon sort of fell in love with RVD, his match with The Undertaker. And
they beat the shit out of each other.
Were you in Gorilla? I mean, what was Vince's reaction to this? You sort of tell me more about this Vince falling in love with RVD moment here.
Good shit. God damn it. They're bringing it. Vince liked the fact that, it was a different style. It was a different side of Undertaker, and felt that RVD brought out a different dimension in Undertaker. And contrary, he thought that to the other side, he felt that Undertaker brought out a different side of RVD. And it was something that he saw in the fact that Rob hung in there with the Undertaker and that they had such of a good match. It made him think, all right, we got a player here. And Undertaker endorsing Bandam definitely helped too.
So let's talk about the little details here, because Rob sort of points to this match and says this match is one of the moments where you sort of could showcase the difference between the WWE and ECW. In ECW, they didn't really know what they were going to do. They would just go out there and do it. But with the WWF, you had some more planned stunts. And so one of the things they did here is a crossbody from the bleachers to the Undertaker, and they fall onto a bunch of stuff. And you guys had your magic folks load up a bunch of baby powder underneath it, so it creates a visual effect. And nobody would have ever even thought of that in ECW. I think it's pretty cool when a wrestler goes out of his way to sort of talk about the behind the scenes production folks who helped make that happen. Would that have been a Richie Posner deal?
I don't know if Richie was, it would have been a Richie Posner deal. I was going to say, I don't know if Richie was here at this time, but he definitely was. And yeah, that would have been something that Richie would have had. And we were all about, making the effect. You got to think television, and you have to think what's going to read on TV and be the best visual for television. And that's what we did.
So they're going to December 17th here, and RVD is wrestling Jericho for the undisputed title, and Ric Flair is the special guest referee. RVD winds up winning by DQ. And around this same time, allegedly, Johnny Ace is trying to get Rob Van Dam to sort of let the crowd know when he's getting fired up, when he's mad. They don't want you to see, the laid back RVD all the time. So he says, when you've had too much, you just sort of snap, like old school Jerry Lawler would pull down the strap. Maybe you could take out your ponytail. Do you remember there being a conversation about him not showing enough fire, and that being sort of a soapbox deal for Johnny Ace with Rob?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a soapbox deal with Johnny Ace. It was a soapbox deal with Vince McMahon. And I had the same conversations with Rob about, what pisses you off. We need to see more emotion. We need to see more range. We need to see anger. We need to see happiness. We need to see fear. We need to see a range of emotions from you. Rob's response is if I tell you what pisses me off, then you'll have power over me. So no, I'm not going to give you that power. I'm not going to tell you what pisses me off. I'll do what I think I need to do. So Johnny, took that from conversations that we all had about trying to help RVD and get more of a range out of him. Probably took it upon himself to make it his own, but that was coming from Vince, and that was coming from creative, just wanting to see more emotion out of RVD.
Allegedly, everybody's coming up to him at TV that day before the match with Jericho saying, you got to get angry. Don't forget to be angry. Be angry. Think of things that make you mad. Be angry. And supposedly Jericho says right before they go out, imagine a hit on your wife. And that really pissed Rob off to the point that he had to actually cool down afterwards because he was really in the moment at that time.
Yeah, I think that everybody pissed him off so much by telling him to get pissed off all day. So we found what pissed him off. Keep telling him to get pissed off.
Well, he's probably pissed off when he found out what he was doing at the Royal Rumble. It's his very first one. They're in Atlanta, January 20th, 2002. He comes in at number 29, gets a big pop, doesn't eliminate anyone. And as soon as he gets in the ring, Triple H pedigrees him. He has to sell it for a minute, and then Booker T picks him up and throws him the fuck out.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, just a few minutes ago, you're like, yeah, Triple H did not fucking like him. It's just humorous to me. You know, you're over like Rover. You've beat all the top guys. You've been positioned. Oh, you're in? Cool. Pedigree. Get the fuck out.
It was written that way.
I know it was.
And Hunter didn't have any say so in the writing of that. So there you go.
Cool.
I'm not kissing. Fuck you and your kissing ass shit. We'll talk about Ric Flair here in a little bit, and you can get your chapstick out.
Oh, what did Ric Flair do with Rob Van Dam? Did he?
I don't know. We'll get there and we'll talk about it.
Ric Flair held down Rob Van Dam? I never heard that.
I don't know.
Fucker.
Hey, have we gotten our fuck quota in this show yet?
Hey, by the way, on the network, here's what that would sound like. Oh, yeah? What?
Oh, yeah, and... Oh, yeah, what? Yeah. And yeah, but... Mother...
My favorite part...
You!
Is now we've got Forget Dave Meltzer, and then when you do the cheeseburger order, at the end, when you cut me off, it's just, you're just going to yell, mother.
And then when I go ahead and go to talk.
So no way out. Hey, if you want the F word, guys, start tagging WWE Network and tell them to put the F back in.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.